You're watching PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network. PCN is supported in part by Comcast, serving cable subscribers in Bensalem and Delaware County. PCN, only on cable. Coming up next on the Pennsylvania Cable Network, PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship basketball, live from the Giant Center in Hershey, the boys AAA Finals.
Live from the Giant Center in Hershey, Game 4, the last game of the day, the main event in boys AAA. Out of the East, undefeated, Holy Ghost Prep out of District 1, and the WPIL Moon Tigers, 28-3, the champion out of the West. Good evening, everyone. The Pennsylvania Cable Network is proud to present the 2004 PIAA Basketball Championships. 3 games are in the books, and tonight, Holy Ghost Prep, kind of an unlikely look out of District 1, a big upset winner last Friday against Steel High. The only undefeated team left in the tournament. The only one that was undefeated that made it here. And they are deserving, as is Moon. This is going to be an interesting matchup style-wise. Jed Donahue along with Steve Bowen and the coach, Gary Sutton. And Gary will start first with Holy Ghost Prep. And how did they get here? We mentioned Steel High was the favorite. They've been riding the #1 team in the Harrisburg Patriot News poll all year long. Last week, a big game in Coatesville. They came from 4 down in the 4th quarter to win, basically going away, bolted it down at the free throw line, and they've had a marvelous year.
Well, this is a team that's fundamentally sound. That's the first thing we're going to talk about tonight, is the fact that they do things and they're skilled and they're fundamental and they just go about doing it right all night. Second thing is they play great defense. The other night they held Conrad Weiser to 8 points in the second half to go out and win handily in that game. The third reason is a guy named Lenwood Greenwood, who's averaging 15.6 points a game. This guy is the real deal, a 6'5" guy who plays the inside with abandon. So you take those 3 combinations tonight, it's not hard to see why they're undefeated, and they are a smart team that comes in here representing the East tonight in boys AAA.
And when he got in foul trouble last week, they had to bring him back after Steel High made a run. And he is going to be the real X factor tonight. There's the longtime head coach, Tony Chapman. He's had them here before. 1999, they were blown out by Blackhawk, a great Blackhawk run. They were led by Brandon Foose Cheatham, who's now at Ohio State. They really think they have a great chance tonight.
Haven't won a state championship in 30 years, looking to try to get that one back tonight. And you can see how they got here. They beat the defending champion from last year, Lancaster Catholic, then took apart Hanover area 68-35. Steel High, the big upset. A lot of people expected the defending champs of the district to be back here. And then, of course, Conrad Weiser. They were losing at halftime big in that game, came back and just stifled them in the second half, and they deserve to be in here tonight. 31-0, Holy Ghost Prep.
Let's take a look at the Moon Tigers right now, and Steve Bowen will take us through. These guys really have just been most impressive throughout the West, but they almost lost to Perry. Perry missed a layup, kind of fell off at the end. They're here, but sometimes luck, preparation, and all of that come together as one. That's why you can be here.
During the regular season, they scored 74 a game. They only gave up 56. That's the reason why all season long they were pretty much the #1 team in the West in boys AAA. And they're led by Dwayne Campo, who is a 3-year starter, 18 points a game this season, and over 1,400 in his career. At 6'4", he does a lot of things that you don't expect 2 guards to do. For example, he'll play post defense as well as anybody on this Moon team, and usually draws a pretty tough defensive assignment. But they have some other folks. You don't get 28-3 and go through the WPIAL without that. And as District 7 champs, Jeff Ackerman has really kept, I think, this team under control. They play a specific system. They like to get up and down, but they're okay in the half court. They're better in transition. The defense keys all of that stuff. And the interesting thing, you mentioned the Perry game, the way that they got to this state championship game. They downed Slippery Rock and Grove City, and you can see handled them quite handily. Perry Traditional Academy, that was a 1-point game. And then they defeated Bradford on Wednesday night at a very raucous gymnasium and really kind of handled Bradford as well as anybody had all season. Bradford, a great team out of District 9 and looked to be a team that could have been here tonight. But Moon just played tremendous defense in that game.
And District 9 had a really good playoff run in the West. Johnsonburg made it all the way to the West Final as well, and as did Bradford. Let's meet both of these teams. Holy Ghost Prep, Moon, playing for the AAA championship. The voice of the PIAA, here's Mr. Bob Schellenberg.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chocolate Town, USA, the beautiful Giant Center, home to the 2004 PIAA Basketball Championships. In tonight's AAA Boys Championship game, representing the East, a record of 31-0, head coach Tony Chapman, it's the Firebirds of Holy Ghost Prep High School. And representing the West, a record of 28-3, head coach Jeff Ackerman, the Moon Area High School Tigers. Your championship officials will be Daryl Jones, Dave Heim, and Henry Hazard. And now, let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's game. First of all, for the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds. Starting at a guard, a 6'3" senior, he's wearing number 11, Drew Bronstein. At the other guard, a 6'2" senior, 31's Jamie Coussart. A 6'3" senior starting in a forward wearing number 13, Brett Manny. At the other forward, a 6'5" senior number 23, Linwood Greenwood. And starting at center, 6'3" senior number 24, Ryan Manny, the Firebirds of Holy Ghost Prep. And now let's bring out the starting five for the Tigers of Moon Area High School. The starting point guard is a 5'11" senior, number 4, Dominic Mano. Wearing number 23, 6'1" junior to guard, Derek Gallagher. Starting at a guard, a 6'4" senior, number 32, Dwayne Campo. The starting forward, 34, 6'4" senior, Ryan Helfrich. And starting at center, a 6'3" senior, he's wearing number 52, A.Q. Shipley. The Tigers of Moon Area. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd ask you please rise for the presentation of our country's colors being presented by the Junior Air Force ROTC Drill and Rifle Team from Marion Center High School. Ladies and gentlemen, our country's colors. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we honor America, salute its leaders and members of the armed forces with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, to be sung tonight by Salisbury Elk Lick High School Junior, Miss Jessica McKenzie. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the roar you're still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Here are the starting lineups. Glenwood, Greenwood, the Manny twins. Now, Ryan Manny is a goalkeeper in soccer. Brett Manny is a defender, but let's go to this, Gary. Manny is just very athletic. He's not big on size, but this guy can get to a lot of stuff in that low post area.
So important to know how to anticipate and get the right kind of positioning down the low post, and Manny does that as well as anybody we're going to see on the floor tonight.
And then Campo, we saw A.Q. Shipley going to Penn State. Penn State fans watching tonight, help us on the way. This is a big guy with a deft game.
We saw A.Q. Shipley come out when they announced the starting lineups. It looked like the parting of the Red Sea. No pun intended. Everybody else just kind of ran out and slapped five. Shipley just kind of bumped people off. But one of the keys is going to be the play of Dom Mano, the other guard besides Campo. He had a huge game against Bradford, and he is a streak shooter who, when he's on, can really drain it. And in fact, Ackerman told both Campo and Mano last game, shoot the three, fellas, it'll come.
156 threes out of 4 of those 5 with Shipley out of there. I mean, I'll tell you what, this is a team that can shoot it from the outside, and we're underway.
Campo on Greenwood as they start in a man.
Going to see good fundamentals here from Holy Ghost. They're very, very, very deliberate and looking for what they want. Just reset. You love to see that. Good patience in the early going. It's so important to set a tempo right here in the early going offensively.
Goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Holy Ghost Prep. They made it here in 1999. Ended up losing to Blackhawk.
Really tight man-to-man here by the Moon Tigers. Quickly kind of playing a one-man zone in the middle.
That is up and good.
I'll tell you what, Coussart looked really economical there in shooting that jump shot. No wasted motion anywhere.
I think that's a great term to describe Holy Ghost Prep. Economical. They don't give up possessions. And if they get a lead, they are real tough.
Teams are fundamental like that. They're and smart. Look out. Speaking of smart, that was a nice move there by Shipley to push it back outside.
Greenwood climbs high in the sky for the rebound. Greenwood keys it up all the way. Coussart.
That was kind of a good assist eventually. He's coming down the court, just kind of got it out there somehow.
If it was hockey, Campo would have gotten an assist as well.
Just underway. Helfrich goes to the left hand, rebound, battle for, and it's controlled by Coussart.
Boy, they get out quickly on the transition, don't they?
Manny explodes to the right hand, no good. And the follow is good, that time by Ryan Manny. Follows his twin brother.
Here's you have to be careful of coming out of the gate. Holy Ghost Prep have established their momentum and their rhythm very well here. On the other side, you got Moon area really not into it yet. They're settling in right now. It's a good time to really try to get some points out of your offense, not out of a quick shot.
And the turnover will give it back to Holy Ghost Prep. Well, the Firebirds are off to a fiery start, aren't they? 6-0. There's Tony Chapman, longtime head coach. A lot of talk about their schedule early in the season, but they've answered those critics with a resounding exclamation point in the PIAA playoff run.
It's always nice when your schedule includes a state championship game at the end. I think that usually answers all the critics out there. Look at Tony Chapman there, 26 years, 557 and 196, and there you see it. Bensalem, Pennsylvania is where Holy Ghost Prep is from, right down there near Philadelphia, not far from the racetrack, and Moon area from Moon, Pennsylvania. I've always wondered, are we going to try to stay away from all the Moon jokes tonight here?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
That foul, by the way, was on Campo against Greenwood.
There's Manny, steps short, rebound battle for, and it's Campo who comes clean.
Dominic Mano, a nice point guard. I really like the way he handles the basketball, looking to probe and penetrate all the time.
Elfrick gives it up. Shipley throws it wild. Shipley in there, gets a handle on it, and then muscles it up and can't get it. Here come the Firebirds the other way. Greenwood deals underneath Manny.
I don't have a timeout right here.
Brett Manny from Linwood Greenwood.
That's Brett Manny.
Coach Ackerman trying to weather the storm here earlier.
Trying to see if Holy Ghost is doing anything in particular to keep the ball out of Dwayne Campo's hands. Of course, he gets it right there.
Whistle away from the ball. And let's see what this is all about. Might be on AQ Shipley pushing off. It is.
Look at that great unselfish basketball. Good head and shoulders fake. Up strong then on the inside by Brett Manny after the wonderful pass from Linwood Greenwood. I got to think Quigley has some, or Shipley rather, has some problems in there sometimes just because of his size. You're assuming he's going to foul, and the guy really is quick on his feet. He takes up a lot of space in there.
In the corner, Bronstein, rebound, Helfrich.
Nice move by Gallagher that time. It'll slither in from the wing into the lane area.
Nice controlled fast break that time, and then finding the good shot, and that's going to get you back in the game there with Gallagher nailing it.
Look at that move right there. Broussard. Moon trying to get back into it a little bit. Campo downtown. Greenwood cleans off the iron. Long outlet intercepted by Campo. In the corner, Gallagher. Rebound comes away for Manny. A little quicker pace than I thought this would come at. Look at that reverse spin by Brett Manny. Wow.
French pastry there on the other side by Manning as he used the basket to screen away the defender and then lays it in with a little extra spin. Good for the pick and roll.
Helfrich underneath.
Still one of the most fun plays to watch. You said a good pick and roll, and Helfrich got it right back and laid it in.
When they're in rhythm, they're going to take 10, maybe 15 seconds in any offensive set.
That's what the first quarter of the state championship game is all about, finding that rhythm again.
Driving against Manny. Into the game, C.J. Fisher for Holy Ghost Prep. Also, Leonardo Martinez.
Here you go. Here's the pick. Now stop right there. Watch. You got the pick and roll right here. You're going to come up and set the screen, and then you're going to roll to the basket. Watch this. Take it over there. Does Gallagher and bounce pass it back to the side. That's the way you draw it up in the book.
Campo, good of it go. Nope, charging against Campo. That's a big call against Moon. That's his second foul.
So many players leave their feet, and the moment you leave your feet, you're susceptible to the charge. So watch this. And where you leave your feet normally, right here inside the foul line, one step, statistically proven, and you get a charge every time.
Zach Engelin replacing Campo.
The only thing I don't like about that sometimes, Gary, is a guy that'll slide in and not leave a landing area.
Well, the problem is, though, when you go up and you just don't have focus right there, it's really a problem. And there's an old saying, I think Dick Carter said it once, you want to fly, join the Air Force. You want to play defense, stay down.
Greenwood turns.
It goes the same on offense, by the way. You want to fly, join the Air Force. You want to play offense, stay down.
Gallagher working really hard defensively that time.
Gallagher takes it off the dribble, and a pushing foul. It's on Holy Ghost Prep. Maybe,
no,
maybe
it's not.
Wow. I think they might be hitting Gallagher with this.
Gallagher's got to kind of calm down a little bit. He's under a little bit of steam right now. Watch this. I mean, that's a player control foul if I ever saw one. Chest to chest.
So that's the first on Gallagher. For Moon, that's already their 14th foul.
21 MK Knight is in as well for Moon.
stronger guard in Greenwood on the inside, and they have a nice little mismatch, and they want to try to take advantage of it here.
Manny takes it all the way and draws the foul. Oh, he's a lot more explosive off the dribble than I thought. It's really.
Manning has the effort to, ability to have a great change of pace here. He doesn't give you one speed all the time. Watch this, a lot of herky-jerky, and then when he goes, he goes. He is very explosive. Gives you a lot of head and shoulders, makes the defender stand up and lock his knees, and then goes to the basket hard once he's got you out of position and in motion.
MJ Knight with a foul. Manny now with 5 points in the quarter. He's only a 43% foul shooter. Kind of defies his style at the line. He's pretty comfortable there.
Got a great look at the line. That didn't look like a 43% shooting touch to me. Got good lift, good reach to the basket, good leg movement, and 2 for 2 tonight.
That matches the biggest lead of the game thus far for Holy Ghost Prep at 8. Helfrich, nice step through move, lost the handle, and that's why he missed the shot, and Greenwood clears. MJ Knight, little pull up in the lane.
MJ Knight showed you right there how not to get the charge by pulling up, laying it in nicely, and a timeout for Coach Ackerman.
That was C.J. Fisher on the other end. On the basket for Holy Ghost Prep. But he takes a full timeout, Gary. I guess no need to save them because you really feel like he's in an undertow right now with Moon. And the keys to the game before, according to Moon, well, Jeff Ackerman spoke to our guys, and here's what he had to say.
Well, as always, we have to play defense. I mean, there's no secret here. You know, we got here because of our defense. You know, we can score some points, but, you know, during these playoff games, they've been a lot more low scoring than the regular season games, so we've always had to rely on our defense. And if we don't defend tonight, we don't have a chance. If we don't rebound tonight, we don't have a chance. We have to rebound with these guys. They're big, they're strong. We got to box them out. We have to go to the board. We have to limit their second and third chances tonight.
Well, there he is in his 3rd year, and he's got them to the summit. The gold medal game in AAA. Jed Donahue, Steve Bowen, Gary Sutton, Mike Conti with you.
Nice record for Jeff Ackerman in 3 years, too. 61-22, nothing to sneer at there.
That gets it done.
Holy Ghost Prep, by the way, in the paint so far. Those are the points we're looking at. 10 points to 2 so far for Moon, and that's the reason for a 14-4 lead.
That's MJ Knight with his first 2.
We tried to give him some points at the other end. We got him right now.
It's his 21 counterpart, Fisher and Knight.
Both with nice pull-ups. Just good reversal of the basketball. This is a backside screen for the lob.
And then Manny was trying to pass it. May shoot 2 here.
What a nice play this was. This was a set play, set piece with a backside screen for the lob play. We'll take a look at it right here. You're going to take a look. The ball gets passed over here, and then we're going to see a screen right here, and then right over the top, and there's the lob.
Foul on MJ Knight. That's his first. Here's Manny trying to get involved. This time travels with it. Tried that duck under and took steps to do it.
Yeah, but they look very comfortable in their half-court sets. They're getting a lot of good looks. They're getting it deep. We mentioned the differential points in the paint. And Holy Ghost does look quite comfortable.
Well, the other thing they do, too, is the moment they pass into their post, their guards go in motion, so you can never drop off and double team, so they keep you in motion all the time and isolate the post player.
Helfrich left it short. They're still tipping at it.
Helfrich's getting some good looks. He's got to hook up on those on the inside. That's 2 that he's missed inside real close.
Helfrich dips in, can't get it. Rebound comes away for C.J. Fisher, and that'll do it. Impressive start for Holy Ghost Prep at the end of 1 quarter of play in the gold medal game in boys AAA. It's 14-6 Firebirds. We'll be back with second quarter action on PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network, after this. Today's game is brought to you by the PSFCA East-West All-Star Game on the web at eastwestgame.org. The high school contest in late June is arranged by the Pennsylvania Scholastic Football Coaches Association and the Allegheny Mountains Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Holy Ghost leading Moon 14-6 as we get set to start the second quarter. And for Holy Ghost, it's really about the Maney twins, Brett and Ryan. And some brothers like to do everything together. The Maneys are no exception. They play sports together, not just basketball, but soccer and lacrosse as well. Ryan was the starting goaltender on the soccer team. Brett, a defender. In fact, the two have won a total of 50 games in 2 sports so far this year, basketball and soccer. They also will play lacrosse together this spring. And their older sister, Megan, was the winner of 3 state soccer championships when she played in high school. Let's go back to Jed.
Thank you, Mike. And Megan is currently at Monmouth, and she's here tonight, and she did those at Villa Maria. Those 3 medals. Here's Shipley. Power move, and I'm not sure if there's anything that's not a power move with this young man, who's one of the really big gets for Joe Paterno and Penn State in the recent recruiting haul, a 280-pound offensive lineman who they're projecting maybe as a center or as a nose tackle.
When that name came up on the Penn State list, I think there were a lot of people around the state that went, ooh, because he was a big-time player, both offensively and defensively, for the Moon Tigers football team this year.
Also a big 33 selection as well.
Shipley with a nice stroke. Lighten his feet for a big man. But you're right, Chad. Every move he makes is a power move. Probably including when he gets up and goes to breakfast.
I remember one year Sean Gilbert with Aliquippa in a AAA final. He dunked at the old arena against Allentown Central Catholic. I thought he was going to blow the roof off the place. I don't know if AQ can get up that high. Here's Greenwood looking for his first points. Gives it under to Manny. Good, and a foul.
I'll tell you what sets this up, though. Coussard throws one of the great bounce passes you'll ever see. I mean, a step and throw. You look at that. Inside, Greenwood, unselfish again, dishing it off to Manny for 2. This team plays together and assists each other so well.
They're up by 10, and Greenwood has yet to score, but you can see his contributions are elsewhere in this first half.
There's a guy who gets 15.5 points a game, but knows how to dish it off when he sees the open man for the easier shot.
And he can't get it, and the rebound is cleared out of there by MJ Knight of Moon. Zach Engel seeing a lot of minutes here in this first half. Engel shuffling through and is pushed on the way by. Believe they're going to hit C.J. Fisher. Make that Coussard. That's his first.
A lot of basketball games those eyes have seen. 26 years, 557 wins. Not too bad.
Engel turns around and scores.
Zach Engel with his
back the other way.
Yeah. And you give it up at the other end, and there, there goes your little bit of momentum that you had just for about 2 seconds.
C.J. Fisher leaking out on the break for an easy 2.
But again, a great look by Greenwood. If he doesn't look down the floor, that break doesn't happen.
Gallagher got a good look at it and rains home a 3.
49th of the year for Gallagher from that far corner, and gets a little bit of juice behind his team and then gets back quickly on defense this time.
What about Greenwood, getting him more involved? This is his first field goal attempt. And a foul over the back. This is on Holy Ghost prep. When AQ Shipley bolts down in position, it's rare you're going to move him out.
Well, Gary talked before about sometimes his size hurts him when he goes for a rebound. That time, I thought that his size helped him because he certainly didn't box out that well. He just is so big that it's tough to get around him.
Well, I'll tell you, you talk about a guy that plays with some steam under the collar. Gallagher down there plays with a lot of emotion.
Second foul on Ryan Manny for Holy Ghost. Here's Mano. Big 3 again.
That's what he did against Bradford.
We talked about 156 threes, among the 4 of those coming in outside of Shipley, and you're seeing them coming true right now.
Big hustle play by Mano again to save it. They whip it around Gallagher. Cutting in is Knight, missed it. Shipley, rebound follows, short. Rebound, Manny. He just hurls it ahead. Coussart all the way and missed it. Timeout, Moon. Sensational play by Gallagher.
Look at Gallagher. Man, races down the court, gets the ball, has the presence of mind to call timeout.
A big run by Moon, the 3-ball, getting it done. Look at this hustle play.
This is unbelievable just to get down there and look at Gallagher. Now the presence of mind to call timeout quickly, and he says, yeah.
Under the rules, that's a great play. Doesn't mean you have, I'm not a big fan of this, with guys going right out of bounds and they call timeout. Great play by Gallagher because it's right within the framework of the rule. I'm just not a big fan of the rule.
Yeah, it's one of those rules that it requires you to really kind of just think, and watch this. Gallagher's got it. He's falling out. He calls time. Now look, his foot's still in the air, and he gets it.
Tony Chapman had concerns heading into this game. What were they? We asked. We'll get to that here in a little while.
Almost like Moon said, we're not doing anything with the 2. Let's go shoot some threes.
Well, Gallagher's 3 kind of lit him up, but I thought Mano's was really big because it was well within the rhythm of the offense.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Zach Engel is getting away with walking. He's 2 straight walks now, and neither one has been called a walk so far.
Another charging call.
Last I checked, that's called a triple jump in state track.
So they hit Engel with a foul. That's his first. That's the 18th foul. So they're going to shoot 1-on-1 at the other end with 5:23 to go.
Well, we can see that last move down there, but he's made that move twice now, and I'd have a little concern about that.
Gary, you talked about Gallagher being an excitable boy. It's interesting, as they were walking down the court, he and Greenwood were having a conversation, and both had real big smiles on their faces. This is a kid who, you said, very excitable, very emotional, but looks like he's having fun.
Oh yeah, you know, it's neat. That's what I say. I say that in a very positive way because I love to see. He reminds me, he's got that little bit of that Pete Maravich look. You know, he's out there, he's got the hair all over the place, and he's shooting the ball, and he's playing with a lot of emotion. You love to see a kid having fun, and you love to see 2 competitors walking down the floor, probably saying to each other, man, isn't this cool? Way to spend our Friday night.
Fisher good on both.
Boy, and Moon's climbed back into this with Dwayne Campo on the bench.
Little 1-4 look here. They're going to go one-on-one and try to dish.
Campo on the bench with 2 fouls for Moon. Here's a big guy in this second quarter. He's giving him big minutes off the Moon bench as Engel almost got the roll. Helfrich there in the right place.
We're going to a 1-4 low look where you go one-on-one at the guard. You look try to dish inside, dish outside, or take the 3 like that and get lucky and get the offensive rebound and put it back. Turnabout's fair play on the other end. Flat on the baseline, looking one-on-one inside.
Manny, a little fade in the lane, got caught off half and half and left it short. A little bit off balance on the release.
Really feel right now like the Moon Tigers are getting into a flow.
Here's Shipley, pushes through.
Oh, what a move by Manny.
He's just going to take it all the way, left it short. Well, Gallagher pulls up at the other end, and the rebound comes away to Coussart. And that should go to Moon.
That's a great call by the official down there.
There's no doubt he had it right.
Well, right off Manny's hand. See it right there? Off his left hand. Now, he wants a foul, but both players just going for the ball. You're not going to call a foul on that.
We wondered how long it would be that Campo was on the bench. He comes back in, replacing Engel. Great job by Engel.
Both teams getting good looks, Gary, but to be honest, I thought this game would be played at a slower pace.
I think both these teams are probers. They go out and they probe constantly, and they take what's given. That's why they're here. They're both very, very smart. And so I think the game has lent itself to a little bit more of a fast pace so far because of the pressure and so forth. A lot of missed shots, too, that are leading to running in the other direction like this. Watch.
Mano, good play by Shipley to keep it alive for Helfrich. Can't get the bounce. Big battle underneath. Who's got it? Looking, and it will go to...
Kuzar got it and called the timeout.
I'm screened off. I got this big monitor of Gary's here so he can chalkboard for everybody.
Well, what happened there was just jammed in. They're jamming with 3 people every time on the missed shot, and that's one of the reasons that you're able to run right now, too. When you see 3 people jamming, you want to get the ball out and go.
Well, we've got 4 games tomorrow as we first get a look at Engel. There's that turnaround. This is what got this run started.
And you had Gallagher down in the far corner. Look at that turnaround, square up, boom. Then you had Mano on the outside also, who buried one later on.
They're the Parkland Trojans. They'll be in the 8 o'clock game tomorrow, 24 hours away, or less than now. Tick, tick, tick toward their first ever appearance in a state championship game.
Nice that coaches has been here tonight. You always want to come in and get a feel for this place before the next night. I know the year we won it in '87, we did the same thing. Brought some kids in here and sat down and just kind of soaked in the atmosphere.
Lewistown girls have already been in with Kevin Kodesh. They're back at the hotel. They'll be at the 6 o'clock game against Allentown Central Catholic.
Great block.
Parkland will be playing Penn Hills. That's the evening session. Tomorrow at 1, it'll be Monessen with one of the great players in recent Pennsylvania girls history as we see the block.
What a good block that was, too.
Against Nativity BVM, and then the rematch, Stowe Rocks and Trinity in boys AA. That'll be at 3 o'clock.
You talk about Sherelle Allen from Monessen. She has 3,055 points in her career. She's second in the WPIAL all-time and second in school history.
Ball will go back to Moon.
If Manny has one fault, I think he waits a little long when he has 3 people on him.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to make too much of a move, and he got called for a walk. That's the second time that's happened so far this evening.
Campo left that a little long. Here's Manny, steps through and scores. Good feed by Bronstein that time.
A wonderful way to start the break, too, by Kusar at that time. 2 quick passes and in for the layup. That's just good fundamental basketball in the transition game. There's a 1-4 high this time. Looking isolated on the wing. Now 1-4 flat. This is one-on-one where you're looking to dish inside or dish corner. Now they come back up.
Mano from way outside. Dominic Mano with 2 threes here in the quarter, 6 on the game.
Dominic Mano with 39 threes for the year now.
Here's Greenwood still looking for his first field goal. Moon with a chance to tie with a 3 on this trip. Mano, Shipley, head fake and scores.
Big hoop by the big man, and did a nice job of being patient. Let the defenders go up first.
Head and shoulders fake and then short-armed it up there to get it in.
Driving through, Manny, no. Rebound, battle for it. It's taken away by Moon. Campo starts the other way. Helfrich, head fake, can't get the roll. Big battle. Foul on Greenwood, I believe.
Oh, and a great hustle play that time by Dwayne Campo. He snuck underneath Lenwood Greenwood and just willed himself to get that basketball. Let's see if we'll see it at the end. Here's Helfrich's shot. Yeah, just right in there. Didn't have position. Wasn't any real reason for him to get that ball.
He got position, though, because he just kept on coming around the far side and got himself inside, as you see. A.Q. Shipley to the bench.
Campo as well. As Gallagher comes back in, as well as Engel.
What is A.Q.? Is it like Anthony Quinn or something like that?
I don't know that.
That might be the mystery question of the night from Mike Conti. Under a minute, you're going to go into a kind of a semi-delay game. Very deliberate game here with a set play at the end of it.
Here's Helfrich, who's been strong, keeps it alive and score it. Moon leads for the first time. How about this gritty effort? Dominated in the opening minutes. No. And now Moon looks like they're going to play for the last shot.
Boy, and how big will this last minute of play be? The basket by Shipley, the save by Campo, Helfrich's basket, and then a chance to take the last second shot.
Here's a spread out again, and you're going to go to about 11 seconds, so you leave yourself about 2 or 3 left in case of the miss. Now you're under 10.
Nano pulls it up for 3 now, and Greenwood rebounds. They've got time if he moves.
Not now.
Too late. And that'll do it. Moon battles back to take the lead at halftime. The Tigers go to the locker room leading by 1. You are watching exclusive live coverage of the 2004 PIAA Basketball Championships live from the Giant Center in Hershey. And Cimpelli and Gordon Blaine are standing by. They'll get you through with halftime highlights. We'll be back with stats and a lot more coming up after this.
High school athletes put on the pads for a classic summer showdown as the top players from Eastern Pennsylvania battle the best of the West in the PSFCA East-West All-Star Game. Arranged by the Allegheny Mountains Convention and Visitors Bureau, the contest is part of a week-long celebration honoring student athletes in the Commonwealth. The PSFCA East-West All-Star Game, taking place the last Saturday in June and shown statewide on PCN. For the best in high school athletics, turn to PCN, only on cable.
Be a part of the action. PIAA is actively seeking individuals to become PIAA registered officials. PIAA presently registers officials in 12 different sports and sponsors 60 championships for its 1,384 member schools. With over 250,000 students participating in athletics annually, the need for qualified individuals to officiate these programs is vital. The PIAA has over 12,000 registered officials, one of the largest officials groups in the National Federation of State High School Associations. However, with the growth of middle school programs, PIAA is facing statewide shortages of officials in soccer, swimming and diving, field hockey, and track and field. Any individual who is a high school graduate or 18 years of age or older is encouraged to get involved. For more information, check out the PIAA website at www.piaa.org or call the PIAA office at 1-800-382-1392.
The tradition of high school athletics defines many Pennsylvania communities, with families, friends, and neighbors often coming out to watch a local game. But bringing these contests to a statewide audience goes well beyond the field of play, requiring a Commonwealth industry large enough to reach all areas of the state, yet responsive to the needs and interests of individual customers. These champions of communication are also known as your local cable television company. PCN's distribution of scholastic sports is made possible by participating cable companies which voluntarily pay a monthly fee to cover network programming and operating costs. PCN receives no state funding. We are supported instead through the generosity of cable systems which make PCN available to their subscribers. In watching high school sports on PCN, we hope you'll remember the commitment of local cable television companies. They're the ones that make this network and today's programming possible.
23-22 Moon, your score, as we welcome you back here at the half. Mike Zambelli again, joined by Gordon Blaine. And Gordon, really, as you and I were talking, I think Jeff Ackerman to be commended. Down 8-0, no timeout. Down 10 points, no timeout. He let his team try and find their way, and he gives them a 1-point lead at the break.
Just left the game, come back to his kids and to his team, showed no signs of panic. No problem, guys. The Holy Ghost Prep's playing with a lot of emotion. They're making their shots right now. We're going to be fine. He let them keep throwing the threes up. They kept pounding the glass. They really didn't change anything. They just were comfortable with everything, and they were rewarded for it. They got the lead at halftime.
Really a game of two halves, if you will. Holy Ghost Prep out to that quick lead and really looked like a team with an unbeaten record. Made the extra pass, had a good rhythm going early offensively.
Yeah, but the one concern has to be no Lenwin Greenwood in the scoring column. He just isn't getting off the the mark right now. They need his 15, 16 points a game. Yeah, he brings a lot of other things to the table, but he's got to score if they're going to win a big game like this.
Jeff Ackerman talked at the beginning of the game, we must rebound, we must play defense. They got off to a slow start defensively, but have certainly risen to the occasion.
Well, it's all about defense and rebounding. That's been the theme through all the games. That will always be at the championship level. But the third thing is you got to make your shots when you have them. And when Manny got off to a good start in close, he then started missing a couple layups. I thought they missed some easy shots when he worked inside, and Ghost Prep went a little cold with their shooting touch.
That's my next question for you. You've seen the Firebirds play on a number of occasions this year. Did they go at a little quicker pace, and were you surprised at the pace of the action sometimes in the first half?
Well, it's not that they're a slow-down team, but they're going to take their time, and they're going to make sure they get good shots, and they want to get in the paint with the basketball. And I thought they really kind of rushed the ball into transition more than you're used to seeing them do it. But they can play at any speed, obviously. Neither team can. And I thought it was an even matchup coming in, and it's 23-22 at halftime, and it's pretty even. Wouldn't you say, Mike?
Pretty much as we expected. Let's take a look at some highlights. First of all, we'll start with Moon, and boy, they really got it going. Dom Mano, I think it was Gary or talked about at the beginning. Actually, it was Steve talked about at the beginning. He could be a key, hit 2 big threes as they really started to find their way. Zach Engel off the bench did a nice job, and here you see Derek Gallagher. I really like Derek Gallagher's energy.
Well, he was very excitable, and sometimes that can work against your team. But I think they got him pumped up, got the crowd into the game, and he was really sort of demonstrating to his teammates, look, guys, we're here. We're in a big game. Let's be aggressive. Let's not be bashful about taking shots and getting up and down the floor. And I thought that kind of got them relaxed a little bit when I thought they may have been nervous coming out of the gate.
It'll be interesting now to see how that plays off. We saw it in the girls 4A championship, how Mercyhurst Prep rode the emotion of a flurry at the end of the second half into a big, or at the end of the first half into a big second half.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that slow starts turned into wins for teams so far today, and that seems to be the theme. Yep. But I see this game, still going to be a low-scoring game, going to come down to the wire, and it's going to be just who's going to make their shots at the end.
That'll do it here for halftime. When we return, the guys will take a look at some stats. You're watching the PIAA Championship Playoffs live on Pennsylvania Cable Network.
May is a championship month on the Pennsylvania Cable Network, state leader in scholastic sports programming. Don't miss PCN's extensive coverage of the track and field championships as hundreds of Pennsylvania's best high school athletes compete for state gold. Track finals are televised live on PCN along with an array of field events. All sports finals air on the Pennsylvania Cable Network without commercial interruption. When you're looking for high school state champions, turn to PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network.
You're watching PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network. PCN is supported in part by Comcast, serving cable subscribers in Canonsburg, Coraopolis, and Washington. PCN, only on cable. High school athletes put on the pads for a classic summer showdown as the top players from Eastern Pennsylvania battle the best of the West in the PSFCA East-West All-Star Game. Arranged by the Allegheny Mountains Convention and Visitors Bureau, the contest is part of a week-long celebration honoring student athletes in the Commonwealth. The PSFCA East-West All-Star Game, taking place the last Saturday in June and shown statewide on PCN. For the best in high school athletics, turn to PCN, only on cable.
Welcome back to the Giant Center in Hershey, where it's 23-22. Moon at the break by 1. They go on a 15-4 run at the end of the second quarter to take the 1-point advantage. And as Gordon was talking about, they got aggressive in that second quarter and it turned the tide.
Well, and I think I said it once before, and I'll say it again. They just looked a lot more comfortable in the second quarter in their half-court offense. It allowed them to do some stuff that got them here. I mean, they score 74 points a game, and they do it by shooting the three and by pushing it inside.
Holy Ghost Prep unable to get Greenwood really into the game, and Manny had a tough time finding the way to second quarter. 3 out of 12 there for 25%. And you look at the numbers, 9 of 23 so far, only 39% for Holy Ghost Prep. Now Moon's 10 out of 29 at 34%, but they were 7 of 16 in the second quarter at 44%, and 3 out of 6 from the three-point line. That's going to keep you in a lot of basketball games, 50% from threes. Free throws, nothing so far for Moon, 4 out of 5 for Holy Ghost Prep, keeping them in there at 80%. And turnovers, both teams very efficient with the ball so far in the game. The rebounds pretty interesting, but 16 to 8 in the paint for Holy Ghost Prep, so they're offsetting the threes with some good in the paint play so far.
Speaking of threes, we'll see some from here, Dominic Mano, who was big against Bradford. He's been big tonight. There's the first, and here's the second, and both of them with someone squaring his face.
2 out of 3 in the second quarter for Mano, and then you see coming down the inside. This guy made his presence known in the second quarter. Number 34 down there, Ryan Helfrich.
And he also had that big putback that gave them the lead right before we went to the locker room here.
There's Manny to Manny.
It's been going on for a long time in that household, hasn't it?
And you look at a good offensive play on the inside by Manny off a great feed that time by Brownstein.
Yeah, their points in the paint, you know, they had 16 out of their 22 points in the paint, and a lot of it came off a transition.
And C.J. Fisher, those were 2 of his 3 field goals in that first half. I think the key here for Holy Ghost Prep, get Lenwood Greenwood involved. There's Coussart early, but here's Greenwood. He's contributed in other ways other than the scoring column with 3 assists.
They were good in transition early, but Moon did a great job of taking that away. And one of the things you've got to do is you've got to hit shots to be able to set up your defense. Here you see inside again, it's Manny, but Manny not able to connect in the second quarter. A lot of herky-jerky head and shoulders, but no finalizing, and that's what he's got to be able to do here in the third.
Great job by our Service Electric crew. They have been, they've got this place wired, 10 cameras. They have just been marvelous to work with all day, and those shots with them, they've just been great.
During the break, someone asked me what I thought, you know, what the change in momentum was. I thought it was about the 5.5 minutes that Moon played with Campo on the bench.
Right out of the gate there, Manny sets a pick, gets a pick and fade that time, and gets a foul shot to put him back on top.
He's got 10 points now.
Always like to see a nice set play out in the second half, and you saw it there.
What's the biggest adjustment for each team as we start the second half here?
I think right now, if you're looking at it from Moon, you're looking to get back into the offensive flow, take the 3 where it's offered, otherwise reverse the basketball, get some touches high-low, get it in this guy's hands. He's been pretty hot, Helfrich.
I think if you're Holy Ghost Prep, you got to get it to Greenwood and get him involved offensively.
Right there, you saw how the 3 is created. Hit it to Helfrich, suck the defense in, kick it to the corner, and that's a good shot for a 3 that time, again by a hot hand Mano.
Who's got 3 3-pointers for 9 points. And Moon out to their biggest lead of 2.
Looking to see Greenwood try to force the issue here a little bit. He really wants to get into this game.
Here's Campo, Gallagher. He's going to pull it up. Stolen away, Mano! And a foul!
Huge play by Dominic Mano. Huge play.
Mano, the point guard, Johnny on the spot, ever-ready battery-type guy, and you'll see him right here, just taking it away. He's stuck around. He's a little guard. Look at him. He realized the ball's down there for him. Why not take it away? And a timeout.
Holy Ghost Prep wants to talk things over. It is a full timeout, and that allows us a chance to check in with our Mike Conti. Mike?
This is Mano is really having a huge game, and when you talk about a difference maker, Mano's teammates really point to him as a big reason why they're here. Keep in mind, he's in just his second year playing for Moon. He transferred in from Erie as a junior, and his teammates have said his arrival is the reason why they're in Hershey. Now, a quick thing on AQ Shipley, guys. I checked with 2 different sources. One told me his name is Anthony Quinn. The other told me it's Alan Quay. Both of them said it doesn't matter. He's just known as AQ. And that's what Joe Paterno refers to him as. So that, of course, is what matters. Back to you, Jed.
There's Mano, who's just been huge since the second quarter began.
Well, and something Gary talked about, the excitability of Gallagher and making a couple of big plays and getting emotional. Everybody else on Moon is getting that way too. You saw Mano after the steal in the basket. You saw Campo get up into things.
What I like about Mano, though, you saw him coming out on the floor. He's the director. He is the extension of the coach out there, Coach Ackerman. He's going around and directed everyone where to go, so he's always under control, even though he got fired up after that last steal and the score and the three-point play he just turned in.
Greenwood, and it's turned back over to Moon.
In their effort to try to get Greenwood into the game right now, they have lost their cohesiveness as a team in their offense. And so Greenwood now making some plays that he normally would not have to make at the moment.
The other thing, too, is that when you try and do that, it's important that you have 5 guys trying to get him into the game.
1-2-2 at half court by Holy Ghost Prep, trying to change the pace.
Peeling it inside to Campo.
Way to go against the press like that is reversing with the pass. You're going to get a weak side layup, and that time exactly what Moon did.
2 leading scorers, Campo for Moon, Greenwood for Holy Ghost Prep. That's the first 2 for either one of them.
Moon needs to get back into some kind of rhythm offensively and get some points out of their offense instead of just trying to get it out of individual ability. They're looking to get Greenwood posted up here.
Manny got in a foul. Great move by Brett Manny. They're going to wave the basket off.
Manning is so good because he gives you all that head and shoulders. Watch this, head and shoulder stuff. He draws the foul. And again, he's got to finalize this half for them to have a chance to win this game.
First foul on Ryan Helfrich. 21, C.J. Fisher returns for Holy Ghost Prep for Braunstein. Fisher gave them solid minutes, 6'2" senior. Here's Greenwood. Little velvety touch with the left hand. That's his first field goal. They need to get him involved.
The shot was really good. The catch was great.
Here's that 1-2-2 trap again. It's good handling of the basketball by Moon. Just get the ball to half court and restore some order.
Here's Shipley steps out. Left it short. Tough rebound, Manning.
Good hustle. Campo all over the place trying to get the steal there. They never let you get comfortable with the ball for a second. Moon area quietly taking control of this game right now. Even though it's a 5-point lead, you just feel like they kind of have a hold on it for the moment.
Greenwood had a good look at it, and the rebound to Gallagher.
Problem with it, though, is he's not getting strong shots inside at all. He's getting pull-up jumpers, and that's exactly what Moon wants him to do at the moment.
Shipley, he just kind of stopped in there, and then, okay, I'll have to do this. Left it a little bit long. Traveling is called before the basket by Fisher. Another turnover.
What a wonderful pass by Manny that time to try to set up what should have been a layup. Good 2-on-1 break.
Knight back in for Moon, replacing Shipley.
Look at that. Fisher trying to get the head and shoulder fake, and in doing so, shuffled the feet. Again, a 1-3-1 trap. Could be open for a 2-on-1.
Mano in the corner. Oh, there's Campo again. He is tough. Gallagher for 3. That's short. Look at him crash the glass. It's tough in there, and Fisher finally comes out of there with it. Tough catch by Greenwood.
That's how you get him involved. He was fronted that time, threw it right over the top, recognized, and he got in for the easy layup. That should get him back into the game a bit.
He's got that reach of a condor in there, and he picked it right off of 2 Moon defenders. Helfrich looking for position and gets it.
And they make him pay for the press on the other end with a nice little half hook shot by Helfrich to put him back up by 5.
Coussard explodes. Campo, tough rebound, high above the 10.
Now all of a sudden they're 4-on-1.
Dealing it inside as Knight missed it. They keep it alive. Campo just inside the 3-point line.
Boy, heads up play by Moon just to keep the loose ball alive, get it back out there, and Campo puts him up by 7.
And matches their biggest lead.
Moon just playing with a lot more energy second and third quarter than we saw in the first quarter. They look a little at awe being here. Now they say this is a pretty cool place to play.
Zach Engel comes in for Gallagher. Engel really solid off the Moon bench in that first half because Campo was bolted down there with 2 fouls.
Looking again for Greenwood, 2-man game.
He could just catch and turn on that all night long.
Well, they have now made it a point to say he's going to be our focus. We're going to take him inside and let him play a little one-on-one. So they isolated 2-man game that time, window dressing on the other side of the floor, and got what they wanted.
He's your all-state guy. Might as well start taking a ride on it.
A bit of a zone look here now. Looks to be a 2-3 zone, or looks to be a 2-3 zone. I'm not sure anybody's quite sure what zone it's supposed to be yet. Now it's like a 1-3-1. And now matched up. Man to man.
Campo got a whistle, got a reach-in foul. It's on Holy Ghost Prep.
That'll be on Fisher.
That's how coaches probably ever came up with a matchup zone. Kids went out, some of them thought they're playing man-to-man, some of them thought they're playing zone. They come up with a matchup zone. So everybody in there going, well, I don't think we're playing man-to-man, I think we're playing zone. Not quite sure, but it looked good.
Another foul against Holy Ghost Prep, against Brett Manny this time.
You know, I'm going to tell you one thing, and we mentioned the first half. You see it in this game. It's a lot of sportsmanship. These guys are talking to each other. They're pulling each other up. Mano back down there a little while ago. They had a fast break going. Mano picked up the other guy off the floor of the other team. I mean, really good stuff here tonight in addition to a great, fierce playing game.
There's Campo. Again, 2 fouls in that first half.
5 seconds.
Barely. Wide open Campo just behind the line this time, and the rebound to Manny. All the way and good that time. Brilliant drive. Martinez.
Leandro Martinez with his first 2 points of the night, and he was like Quicksilver going through there.
Made up his mind and got in there. So Holy Ghost Prep has run off 4 in a row.
Love the way they use their inside people here, Moon, pretty much to set up the 3.
Knight got too far underneath. Loose ball picked up. Stolen back by Manny. Wheeling it in, Helfrich.
Great entry pass that time by Engel.
Really was, and Helfrich really exerted himself since the first quarter. He was missing a lot of inside shots in the first quarter, and since then he's been very, very solid.
As has Engel, who had the entry pass. Greenwood for 3. He can hit him out there. Shot is wide by Fisher. The rebound to Moon. A little out of control. Here comes Greenwood all the way to the right hand and is fouled by Fisher. Make that Knight from behind.
That's a good foul, though, because you could see Lenwood. He had thoughts of winding that one up.
Yeah, that one's going to get two-handed. Watch this. He gets it out. Now, about right here, Fisher's saying, or Linwood's saying, And then he switched to his right hand at the end. Look at this. If you're going to get a foul, it's a good foul to take right there. You're exactly right, Steve.
Even if he makes the 2 free throws, these aren't going to excite the crowd as much as a jam would have.
Well, you're not going to make 2. He's 58% free throw shooter, so he'll get a second chance to make 1 here.
Bronstein returns for Holy Ghost Prep. He's in for Brett Manny.
A.Q. Shipley back in as well for Moon area.
Greenwood has 7 now.
There's that 1-3-1 half-court trap again. And they drop off into a man-to-man. Coming up on 20 seconds here. You're going to go at about 11. Trying to get that 1-4 flat again, probably for Mano. Nobody counting yet. And here you go, 11 seconds. If you win any much more than that, it's a little late. Going to come right off a screen by Shipley here. Watch this.
Big screen. Campo! Couldn't have done it any better to end the third quarter. Moon by 7, which matches their biggest lead. Timeout on the floor at the end of 3 quarters of play. It's Moon 40, Holy Ghost Prep 33. We'll be back with more on Pennsylvania's Championship Network, PCN, after this. Today's game is brought to you by the PSFCA East-West All-Star Game on the web at eastwestgame.org. The high school contest in late June is arranged by the Pennsylvania Scholastic Football Coaches Association and the Allegheny Mountains Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Lead 40-33 as we get set to start the fourth quarter. A couple weeks ago in the District 7 playoffs, a lot of people thought Moon area was dealt a fatal blow when they lost their 6-man, Dan Walsh, to a broken left hand. He suffered that during the game against Knock in the District 7 final. They've had to really get a group effort off their bench, led by Zach Engel, who has filled his shoes nicely. Engel, as a matter of fact, 2 double-figure games in the playoffs off the bench, 2 points tonight, and a lot of minutes for Engel, filling in for Dan Walsh. Jed?
Question at the end of the third quarter there was, did Campo get a 2 or a 3? And it looked like a 2 from here, and the officials called it a 3. We'll see if we can get a little look at that later on.
Engel rattles home the runner.
What a big-time play on the biggest stage in the state.
Some of the best runs you could have in the game, the end of the half, beginning of the second half, and the end of the quarter, beginning of the next quarter, and you got it here for Moon.
Fisher left it long. Manny keeps it alive and draws the foul.
Okay, let's take a look. At the end of the last quarter, they called this a 3. You decide yourself. Here comes a screen by Sylvie. Now watch his foot. Way inside. Definitely inside the line right there. That's a 2, not a 3.
Wow.
There it is again. Watch yourself. Right there's his feet. Stop. There's his feet. Here's the 3 out here.
That's not even close. 4th foul on MJ Knight of Moon.
Having said that, let's say the officials have done one fantastic job all weekend long. And I'll tell you what, over on the far side right now, we're seeing Tony Chapman still talking to the officials about the miss of that 3.
And he is good on that one.
Here again, 1-2, 1-1 press now, full court.
Nice call by Campo. Dwayne Campo called timeout. Engel had some problems. That's a heady play by the senior.
So we have 7 minutes and 19 seconds remaining to go in the game. 42-35. And if you're a high school sports fan, you're going to love PCN. PCN, the only place to find exclusive coverage of PIAA championships. When you're looking for high school champions, turn to PCN, Pennsylvania's Championship Network. And there's the website right there, PCNTV.com, www.pcntv.com, and email us. Let us know what you think of the coverage, PCNTV@pcntv.com.
AQ Shipley back in for Moon.
You're down by 7 right now, and you sense a little bit of urgency right now on the part of Holy Ghost Prep.
Shipley wheels it for Engel in the corner. Campo battling for that rebound, and let's see.
Pushed off to get it.
It looked like a pretty good call.
Campo's a very active player, but he gets those hands out there sometimes. He's good at getting them out and getting in, but that time got caught.
Third foul on Campo.
Good hustling play. That's a good hustling foul. You don't get too upset about that as a coach.
Greenwood now back in for the Firebirds.
How about this little 2-2-1 press? Don't see this that often. A patient type press makes you just take your time, get up court.
Manny is back off the Holy Ghost bench with a big field goal.
There's a situation where it was probably a charge, but Shipley's so big you don't expect him to fall down. I'm serious, because you're big there, you probably didn't draw the charge.
Engel, Shipley, up and down, still battling in there.
Shipley likes this stuff. He says, this is like football, man. We get in there and battle and hit people. Holy Ghost Prep is picking up the intensity of their defense right now. This is go time for them.
But Moon's doing a nice job being very patient.
Yeah, they're really resetting their tempo well here.
A nice slide move by Mano.
Not a good finish, though. Let it go a little bit early.
Dussart with it. Dussart had a hot start offensively, but has cooled off considerably since. This time leans in, looking for a bounce. Rebound, Campo. Boy, you are right on the money, Steve, about him on both ends of the floor. Mano jumps through there, missed it. Greenwood clears.
Mano's got to realize the clock's on his side a little bit more right now and get a little bit better shot. He just paid for it on the other end again.
Brett Manning at the other end, and here comes Holy Ghost, down by just 3, and their fans are back in it.
Jeff Ackerman let his team play through some runs in the first half, and he let them kind of work it out. He's letting them work it out here. We'll find out if it works for him.
Pull up by Campo, missed it, rebound, tip. Campo comes out of there with it. Gallagher, 3-ball, corner pocket, missed it wide, and a rebound, Manny. Greenwood is fouled. It's the 4th on Campo. Really getting a shift in momentum now.
You really are. And one of the reasons why is 3 impatient shots down on this end by Moon area, and they turned into quick transition efforts on the other end by Holy Ghost Prep. Holy Ghost Prep, by the way, really dominated in the paint in this game. 30 points to 16 points for Moon thus far on points in the paint.
A lot of times when people hear that term points in the paint, they think that it's getting it into a big guy posting up. Anytime you take off for the shot and you're in the paint, and that includes just about every layup you can think of.
You got it.
It counts as a point in the paint, and they've been very successful in transition.
And transition points, as you said, are very, very important right now. Those last 3 shots by Moon. Moon has to start using the clock on its side, and they didn't do a very good job the last 3 possessions.
How about Greenwood off the set piece here, Gary?
I think Greenwood off the set piece here, what you're going to try to see is him coming down on the post on the near side. He'll pass it and follow his pass. Not quite sure what they're doing with this. I think he's just going to hand off and go back into the post now.
Well, 3-pointer.
I think the post might have been a better option. That is not the shot that you want at this particular point. Got to be frank with you. You got to go down in and get something where you have a chance to get fouled. The big guy's been doing pretty well here the second half with the posting up. That time, just let it go from the outside. That's trying to take it all back in one big basket.
Almost a big steal. That's right in front of us. I don't know. Officials going, that's off you, that's off you.
And Derek Gallagher just walked past us and winked with a big old grin on his face, because he and I both saw it go off his hand.
There it is.
Ooh.
Break for Moon. How's that?
Now they're in a good delay. I like this. Nice delay game. Isolate like that. Get a layup or a foul.
Knight will shoot 2. MJ Knight.
Well, how about Knight and Engel off of the Moon bench have been more than just passable. They've been big-time contributors and key factors to this game. Fisher on the other end has as well, and I thought Martinez, when he was in for about 2 minutes of the last quarter, played very, very well.
MJ Knight, a 61% free throw shooter, buries the first. We see Martinez back into the game for Moon, or for Holy Ghost Prep, rather. I like the move that time by Jeff Ackerman to spread the floor a little bit, get some one-on-one looks there, get his guys a little room to operate and slash to the basket.
Big hits at the free throw line for Knight. Gives Moon a little bit of room to breathe as we go down the stretch. The other initial 21, C.J. Fisher.
They took Fisher down in and posted up. Said, you go down and try a little bit. Sometimes guys like to put their guards down there and see if the guards know how to play post defense like Gallagher. And Fisher draws the foul that time. Good move on the other end, a little set piece.
You got C.J., you got an M.J., you got an A.Q.
Like the alphabet game.
Go to Mike Conti right now while we see the free throws. Mike?
Well, we talked about the great sports family the Maneys represent at Holy Ghost Prep. Well, the Fishers are another great sports family. CJ, of course, on the team right now. His brother Jason is an assistant coach with Holy Ghost Prep, and his brother Kyle now plans on playing at Widener. As far as CJ goes, he's going to college. He won't play sports. He plans on going to law school.
Splits the difference. Goes 1 for 2. Brings the Firebirds to within 4 with 4 minutes to go, and we got a push-off foul. It's on Braunstein.
I tell you what, I cannot say enough about the officiating, the consistency of it all weekend long. It has been so far all day today, in the first day of the weekend, but it's been bang, bang, bang. It's been physical, and it's been consistent. Hats off to all the officials in all 4 games so far. It's like the same set did every game.
And again, they really want you to play with your feet defensively. If you're moving your hands in there, Gary, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a whistle.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's been consistent. You put your hands on, and that's been a point of emphasis all year, and the officials have been true to their word so far here today, and now we get the spread again. Here's the guy who won handling the basketball. Key here is to still look to score. You don't want to get lulled to sleep here and think you have enough points, because you don't. Here's the back door.
Mano's been pretty quiet since that second, third quarter explosion.
The only thing Mano's been doing is been trying to do too much. He got the ball there, and instead of seeing the situation, should have pulled it back out. He tried to force the issue.
Back comes Leandro Martinez.
See, there's nowhere to go. First of all, you see a guy at 6'5" in front of you, and you're standing there at about 5'11". Need you get out of town.
The sack, rattled in and out. That could have been big. Crossover, Mano blocked from behind and followed in by Knight.
Again, questionable decision by Mano there, but it pays off for the offensive rebound and the stick back.
Martinez left it short. Big battle. Knight.
3 of the last 4 possessions have been bad choices for Holy Ghost Prep, frankly. They have not taken their time to get anything out of their offense or taken it out of individual abilities and long shots, and that's not the way you're going to get back into this game.
And how about the sequence over the last minute and a half, 2 minutes for M.J. Knight off that Moon bench.
Again, here we're going to see a great defensive play first by Manny, but nice job by Knight running the floor on the break, and the trailer getting the hoop.
Moments find heroes, and M.J. Knight, the hero of the moment for Moon area.
How about that play by Manny, though? But Knight takes him there. Let's go down to Mike Conti. Mike?
Well, Holy Ghost Prep guys, of course, undefeated, but they've been in some tight situations in the past. In fact, as recently as the East Final the other night, they were trailing at halftime. And one thing the players all said after the game, it was the calm of Coach Tony Chapman that really was reassuring to them as they went out in the second half and eventually won the game. The players said the locker room was silent at halftime of that game as Coach Chapman calmly explained the things they needed to do to get back in the game. And I don't see Tony Chapman doing a lot of yelling in this huddle as we get set to return to action.
Holy Ghost Prep's biggest lead was 10. They led 18-8. Moon was up by 9. That's the road here. They knocked off the defending AAA champ, Lancaster Catholic. Pretty much the #1 all year long in Steel High a week ago at Coatesville, and then Conrad Weiser, a 5 seed from District 3. They trailed at halftime.
District 3 was pretty tough this year, and the impressive thing about the Conrad Weiser win is they held Conrad Weiser to 8 points the second half. Pretty impressive on any level. Here's the spread again. Gonna have a high post bailout.
Here's Knight again, feeling it, and a foul.
What a move. Just absolutely strong, confident move for Knight off the bench.
Watch this. Knight, the forgotten one again on the baseline. Everybody was looking for a drive off the post again, as we saw at the end of the third quarter. And there was Knight wide open on the baseline going to the basket. He is hot right now. When you trap and expose the baseline behind you, you're going to let that kind of play available. And Knight took advantage of it.
Interesting move, 2:44 to play. Greenwood takes a seat. They bring Fisher in. A lot smaller is Holy Ghost Prep.
Manny all the way with a big basket.
Manny did a great change of pace out here to set that up and then split two defenders to get to the basket, lay it in, and keep his team in the game. They're down by 6. If you can get this first pass over the top, you've got a shot to the basket.
And another great play by Knight, catching the errant pass, calling timeout before it goes out of bounds.
We're going to take a full timeout.
Look at this, right here it is. They throw it over the top. If you get a good patch, you got a 2-on-1 break. Look at Knight. Presence of mind right there to put those hands together and call timeout.
Great work again, working a Service Electric crew here. 10 cameras throughout the Giant Center. Hope you're enjoying tonight's coverage on Pennsylvania's Championship Network, and we'd like to thank all the participating cable systems across Pennsylvania for their support in bringing you the 2004 PIAA Class AAA Boys Basketball Championship on PCN. PCN, Pennsylvania's Championship Network.
There we see some of the Moon faithful, and I like the idea that at either end, on opposite sides of the floor, is where the student cheering section sits. I've heard some people complain that that the students should get better seats. They bond when they get in those groups. It gets so loud in here, I think specifically because of that. This has become a really great venue for basketball, especially because of that.
The only question about Moon is, and this is the only thing I'll ask all night, whoever come up with the Moon Tigers, why wasn't the Moon Beams or something like that? It seems like it should have been something else a little more ethereal, doesn't it? Just me. That's the things that go
Sports
through your
teams
mind
aren't
sometimes.
supposed to be ethereal.
Well, they're playing like Tigers tonight, I know that.
Here's Helfrich, who's been fairly quiet. Big miss and a big rebound for Manny. Holy Ghost Prep is still alive. Here's Brett Manny. Doing this without Greenwood on the floor. Kusart's first basket since the first quarter.
That looked like the opening shot of the game for Kusart that time. He pulled up very coolly and knocked it down. Good job by Manning of not trying to force the issue 1-on-2.
Greenwood and Shipley are at the scorer's table and will return for Moon and Holy Ghost Prep at the next dead ball.
Hey, you're not going to get a cheap foul call here.
In it comes Fisher. Make it Knight, excuse me. Knight with 10.
MJ Knight just going to town here in the fourth quarter. Got to be careful here.
Big basket.
This is a huge possession.
Ronstein has it blocked. Fisher gets it back, running one-hander.
With 21 trades on the other end as Fisher buries one from 10 feet away to pull his team within 4 with 1:11 to go.
He's brought a lot of energy off of the Holy Ghost bench and has been aggressive offensively, which is something that they needed when they went into that funk kind of midway second quarter and into the third quarter.
How big has MJ Knight been here, guys? There he is.
The forgotten man out there, but he's making himself well known. There's a block for Knight on the other end. And a great play by his counterpart, Fisher, knocking it down. Battle of 21s here in the fourth quarter. Schmano finding Knight on the baseline, puts it away on a nice little touch off the glass.
That basket by Fisher for Holy Ghost Prep keeps them alive in this game. That goes back the other way. That might be the deal, the end.
2 possessions down with 1:11 to go. Lots of time, but you're going to see them come out with a really hard press here, probably of the man variety.
What do you think about the free throw line as far as Moon goes?
I think for Moon, you're looking at guys, they shoot the free throw pretty well, but you want to try to get it in the hands of someone like Ryan Manny, on the other side, Probably Mano. I think Mano's probably the guy you want to touch the ball right here.
16 fouls for Moon, 7 for Holy Ghost Prep, so each team is in the bonus.
Campo and Mano are the two you want to keep, and there's the steal.
Going away, Manning. Going all the way and good. They're within 2.
Here comes the man-to-man press hard. They have the presence to pull it out.
Here's Knight again.
What a great pass from Shipley.
Wow.
Gallagher to Shipley tonight. You need a good shot in this possession. You have 36 seconds to go.
Walking. Gonna go against Manning.
Nice step in that time by Campo to force the travel.
MJ Knight. 10 points in this fourth quarter.
Biggest problem for Manny is he doesn't go to his left hand. And you can see here it costs him a walk. 12 turnovers for Holy Ghost, 6 for Moon so far in this game. That's incredible.
And a dead ball foul. Engel will go to the line.
The 1-on-1.
Well, and that was one where Manny hooked Engel, and Coach Chapman complaining about it, and from his angle I can understand why. From our angle we saw it plain as day.
Well, I'll tell you what, this actually works a little bit to the advantage of Holy Ghost Prep in this situation, because you're not going to waste any time. You're walking the other end, and you're going to hope for a miss. That's on the other side. You have a chance to put it up 2 long possessions right now. You can make both these.
No good. Rebound Greenwood. They've got to make it happen, though.
Well, you need the big guy to do something right here. That's not it.
Rebound, Manny puts it up and in.
That might be. 2-point game.
16 seconds to go. Stolen by Manny. Unbelievable. Coussart. Ball is still on the deck. The arrow gives it to Holy Ghost Prep. 7.4 seconds left. Wow.
Manny looked like he had a stick back. He brought the ball down. It got stripped away. They're going to get a timeout here to set the last play. Watch this. There's the three-point effort. Missed. Now watch. Rebound. Manny brings it down, and that's where it got stripped. Good play not to call the foul, and then the wild loose ball on the floor and covered by Greenwood.
There's the Holy Ghost Prep fans bonding together as one. What an incredible sequence that was. Gary, what are you framing here in that timeout? Be Tony Chapman role play for us a little bit.
First thing you're going to do in the timeout right here is
here.
You're going to say, okay, look here. You're going to throw the ball to Greenwood on the lob. That's the very first play you look to. If you can't get Greenwood on the lob, you kick it to the corner, and then you look for the post up and the layup on the inside. So you get the kind of shot where you might be able to win this game. You get a layup and a foul. Take a look right here. There he is. Good layup. Now watch the steal right away. That is long shot. There's a rebound. Manning puts it back. And then quickly they got the steal on that end as well. There it is. Manning all over the place.
Coussart had a good look at it from three-point land.
And so the other Manning brought it down, got it stripped away, loose ball on the floor. And they're going to look for the lob here, first of all, to Greenwood.
Moon also has some fouls to give.
How about that?
Well, they have one that puts them in the one-on-one. There are 16 fouls.
That's right. I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Half second went off the clock on that.
No timeouts left for Holy Ghost Prep. They have to get it in. Here's Coussart. Wheeling it over. Greenwood. It's over. Moon has won it. Giving these two teams a standing ovation as well. They should. The Holy Ghost Prep fans are on their feet. cheering their kids.
What a gutty effort on both teams' parts.
What a piece of defense at the end by Moon area. I'm telling you what, 2 straight possessions and the pressure is dead on them. Don't make any mistake about it. And they would not let it get into Greenwood's hands. They would not give up a free 3. They did a great job in the last 2 possessions of making them throw cross-court passes, never even got a clean look off.
Incredible finish. Let's go down to Mike Conti and get Mike's take, because he's right over there listening to those Moon fans a little bit. Mike?
Brought up the good point. It was really Moon area's defense there on that last possession to give them the win, and that team set a goal heading into the playoffs. Hold teams to less than 45 points during the postseason, a little over that tonight. But boy, after giving up 14 in the first quarter, you have to say Moon's defense was cranked up a whole nother notch in the second half, and that's why they're the AAA state champions, Chad.
52-50. And we'll show that last sequence to you. Just an amazing game. And give Holy Ghost Prep credit. They just hung in there, and their fans are on their feet. The whole building is, even neutral observers, basketball fans in general. Just a great game for the state. Great showcase. Here's how it finished.
Well, it looked like they run a pick and roll there. Then they threw it across court, not able to get a good pass. Then you just try to throw it up and hope you can get some kind of offensive rebound or a layup, and not to be. And there they are, the champions for 2004. Holy Ghost Prep 10-4 run in the last 2:45, just falling short. And today has been the day where the Giant Center has been the place for undefeated teams to go down.
Incredible game, there is no question. An amazing game by Brett Manny, who had 18 points and had the steal that gave him a chance. Kusark got a great look at it from beyond, and it just rimmed out. Amazing finish.
Tell you what, just good ebb and flow to this game tonight. 2 outstanding teams. Holy Ghost Prep with a fantastic season, and Moon area just showing at the end how to weather the storm. And talk about owning the fourth quarter. How about MJ Knight?
Absolutely MJ Knight, but you know, this is as good a 2-team effort, just playing team basketball. There were a couple of occasions on each side where, you know, you saw someone try and do something themselves when maybe that wasn't the best of ideas. But boy, both of these teams really got after it. They played well in groups together defensively.
Let's go to Bob Schellenberg for the medal ceremony.
We start with Dan Files. Dan Files receives the first medal, followed by Anthony Greco, Matt Orminsky, John Mish, Pat O'Rourke, R.J. Trasta, Leandro Martinez, Bill Sampson, Anthony Sirigliano, Jeff Orff, C.J. Fisher, Drew Bronstein, Ryan Manny, Jamie Kusark, Brett Manny, Lenwood Greenwood. The assistant coaches of the Firebirds: Barry Bessler, Jason Fisher, Gary Nolan, Bob Sarsowitz, and Tom Finnegan. And Holy Ghost Prep Firebird head coach, Tony Chapman. And would the captains please come forward? Jamie Kusark, Brett Manny, and Lenwood Greenwood, as you will now receive the 2004 PIAA AAA Boys Runner-Up Trophy. What a season for the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds. And now let's meet your 2004 PIAA AAA champion, Moon Area High School Tigers. Head coach Jeff Ackerman, to present the medals. Our first medal goes to Andy Dowdell, Tyler Hirschberger, Jeremy Pronto, Drew Karanowitz, Jason Clark, Chad Trey, Dan Walsh, Zach Engel, Derek Gallagher, Matt York, M.J. Knight, Ryan Helfrich, Dominic Mano, A.Q. Shipley, Dwayne Campo, assistant coaches, Bob Williams, Dale Curran, and Jay Battle. The manager, Greg Jones. Athletic trainer, Jerry McFarland. Their scorekeeper, Dan Felder. Moon Area High School principal, Michael Hauser. Tyler assistant principal, Chad Ayola. Moon assistant, Scott Seltzer. And Moon Area High School athletic director, William Moore. And now we need A.Q. Shipley, Ryan Helfrich, Dwayne Campo, Dominic Mano, and M.J. Knight to come forward as you now receive the 2004 PIAA AAA Boys Championship Trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tigers from Moon Area High School. Congratulations.
52-50, the final. Moon wins it by a bucket. It wasn't easy. It was a great one.
Strikes me there's an old song called Fly Me to the Moon. And tonight I imagine they're flying right now in Moon, and they're going to be doing that when they get home. What a gutsy effort by a great group of kids. And you know, the sportsmanship tonight, the hard play, I mean, it was all right there all evening. And
Holy Ghost Prep walking off on the other side. If we get a shot, their fans are standing.
The way it should be.
As their kids walk off as well. And just great sportsmanship showed all the way around, I think, tonight. Hard fought, tough, gritty game. There's the Holy Ghost fans. And, I mean, how good is that? They appreciate the effort that was there. And it shows that there are no losers. Yeah, trite statement, but it goes to show that, you know, what we talk about is right.
You appreciate the runs. You appreciate the achievements during the course of the season. It's not all gauged on one night. You have to fight all season long to get to this one night. On the other side, a happy bunch of Moon Tiger fans. And, you know, just it's a great basketball game this evening. A lot of ebb and flow to it, a lot of big moments, and some unlikely heroes like M.J. Knight in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely great. Big-time game by both squads, and as I mentioned, team play on both ends. The defense was just rugged defense all evening long.
A real bumping type game. We're going to have Mike Zambelli and Gordon Blaine talking with the winning Moon squad and winning head coach Jeff Ackerman. And we'll be back tomorrow with 4 more. You guys ready to do that? Starting
absolutely.
at 1 o'clock tomorrow all day long. We'll start with girls single A with Monessen and Nativity BVM at 3 o'clock. It'll be Stowe Rocks and Trinity. The evening session, girls AAA, Allentown Central Catholic going for 4 in a row against Lewistown, a team that's won 2 in a row in their own right back in 1997 and 98. And then the main event, boys Quad A, Parkland making their first ever trip to the Quad A final against Penn Hills, one of the 4 WPIAL teams to make it. So Wickley lost earlier today. DeLone Catholic won in AA girls, and Mercyhurst Prep most impressive to start the evening session with a win over Harrisburg in girls Quad A. So we'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We'll be back with more on Pennsylvania's Championship Network, PCN, after this.
Get your VHS or DVD of this PIAA championship. Visit our website at pcntv.com or call toll-free 1-866-PCN-VIDEO. All championships are $29.95, including shipping and sales tax. PCN Tours is the first book published by the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Modeled after PCN's long-running program featuring manufacturing plants and landmarks, the book highlights 28 of the most requested tours and includes pictures along with the words of the tour guide. Makes a great gift for anyone. To order, call toll-free 1-866-PCN-8433. The price is $26 and includes shipping and state sales tax. That's 1-866-PCN-8433. Or visit the PCN store on our website at pcntv.com.
PIAA is a nonprofit corporation organized on a membership basis. Members include public and private high schools in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The purpose of PIAA is to develop and enforce rules which are adopted by the member schools. PIAA is divided into 11 geographic districts, each of which has a district committee elected by the member schools within the district. Each district committee elects a chairman to represent the district on the PIAA Board of Directors. PIAA's main objectives are to establish and enforce rules of eligibility for high school athletes, adopt playing rules for each sport, register officials, organize and operate 27 championships in 10 girls sports, and organize and operate 31 championships in 11 boys sports. PIAA does all of this without federal or state funds. Its principal source of revenue is the sale of tickets to playoffs and championships. PIAA believes that the student athlete is best served by a system which emphasizes the amateur, educational, and character-building aspects of high school sports, and which recognizes that students are in school primarily to obtain an education.
Boy, a classic in terms of the energy expended by both these two great programs. Moon outlasting Holy Ghost Prep 52-50 with one of the stars and head coach Jeff Ackerman. Coach, I'll start with you. You told me rebounding and defense prior to the game. They did both.
Yeah, we did. In the first half, they hit us on the boards pretty hard. We made some adjustments at halftime. These guys came back. These seniors wanted it. They wanted it, and they came back strong. We weathered early. We weren't playing very well. We got a lead on them. They seemed to get a little bit, set back a little bit, and from then on, we just went.
Gordon and I both talked about early in the ball game, 8-0, 14-4. You didn't call a timeout. You left it in their hands. Can you explain that thinking?
I was going to call a timeout. I said, you know what? My guys are experienced. They can play through this. We don't want to blow too many timeouts in the first couple minutes because we knew we were going to come back. I know what kind of guys these are, and I know they're tough, competitive, and they came back, and I did call one. But we want to try to hold off the best we could. I knew we just had to hit one. We just couldn't make a shot. Once we hit one, we were going to be okay, and it just took us a little while to get it off. But once we did, we were fine.
Gordon?
I thought Dom got it going, hitting those threes, because that does so much to the other team's defense. And when he hits the threes, and it gives up with a big steal to start the second half, and then MJ down the stretch, the last 10 points.
Dom's so fast that you got to sag on him, and when you sag on him, he hits a three. You play up on him, he drives around you. He's tough to defend. MJ Knight, I'm so proud of. He came up huge tonight. He played like a senior. He played like a warrior. He came up strong. Huge baskets for us all night long. And we deserve to win this. We all played and we deserve it.
Dom Mano, congratulations, state champion. You told me you like gold, huh?
Oh, I love gold. I'm Italian. I got 2 gold chains, gold bracelet, gold watch. I love gold.
How about the intensity of tonight's ball game? Everything you expected and maybe a little more?
Oh, definitely. I mean, in the beginning, we started out slow. We couldn't hit anything. I think we were a little rattled and everything, but after that, we got into a groove, started hitting some shots, and then intensity picked up, and we just started taking control of the game.
Coach showed a lot of confidence. You're the point guard. You're the leader of these guys. When you were down 8-0 and down 10, what went through your mind? What needed to be done?
Well, we usually have Dwayne out on the floor to help us out, but he got into foul trouble. And when he stepped out and he had to go take a rest because of his fouls, I knew I had to pick it up because I'm a leader out there, and I had to take care of the ball and just control things and get us all calm so we can start playing our game.
Gordon, pretty exciting.
Guys, I thought Greenwood was a guy that they depended a lot on the score, and you really kept him from ever really getting in the groove offensively. How'd you do it?
Well, Dwayne did a great job on him. He stayed in his face. We watched him on tape. When the guys were sagging off of him, he was taking shots, and when they were up on him, he was trying to drive around, but Dwayne played great defensively, got in foul trouble, but still kept with him and shut him down, basically.
MJ Knight, 12 points tonight. What was different for you? Did you feel it at any point that you thought that, hey, I got a little something going offensively?
Yeah, when Dwayne came out, I realized that I'm going to have to step up, and so does the other seniors, to score some points for us.
Zach Engel also played well off the bench. You guys really had a big impact in the final outcome of this game.
Yeah, me and Zach, we know we're going to get minutes off the bench and be able to help our team out. We know that we're not going to get much time. We're going to get time, I mean, but we're not going to.
Going to get enough to get it done. Guys, congratulations, Coach. A terrific show. One they'll remember for a long time in the state of Pennsylvania. Congratulations.
Good job. Good job. Guys, congratulations.
Gordon, some good stuff today. It looks like we'll go into day number 2 with a 2-2. Each, the East and West, each gets a boy and a girl champion here today. But this one they will talk about for a while.
Well, it continues to be a topsy-turvy season. I think the WPIAL sends 4 boys teams here, and I think they really felt good about their chances with Sewickley Academy, Mike. And then Moon here had a tough out against an undefeated Holy Ghost Prep team, and just outgutsed it down the stretch. Deserved every bit of this victory.
No losing effort. I think Brent Manny really has to be mentioned in this one. I don't know how many he wound up with, close to 20. Let's take a look at some highlights. But he had him carrying the Firebirds single-handedly there for a while. As we take a look at some highlights, there is number 13, and just a gutty effort, and I think that's the most used word here tonight for both teams, really.
He had 20 points, Mike, and you know he's really a Division I lacrosse recruit, but boy, he showed a lot of ability on the basketball floor tonight, and really kept them in the game throughout. Was the one player that Holy Ghost Prep was consistent for the Firebirds, because I think there were stretches in the game where the Prep maybe lost a little bit of their confidence offensively.
MJ Knight, of course, number 21 getting it done. Number 13 was Manny, and then this is how the game ended. There was a great steal by Manny and a great opportunity. Then there was a held ball, and then with 7 seconds to go, the Firebirds still had an opportunity, and look at the fine defense being played by Moon. They got a heave and actually got a tip at that ball, but time would expire with Moon winning the boys 3A state championship. They will celebrate in the western part of the state right now. And Gordon, quickly looking ahead now to tomorrow, we have 4 more and expect more of the same kind of action.
Well, WPIAL will try to go for 2 more boys championships. They're 1-1 right now, and I know they were excited about coming to Hershey this year with 4 teams, and of course the nightcap tomorrow night. It's always the best event of the weekend. We've seen a lot of basketball, but that Quad A final always a lot of fun.
And of course the Central Catholic girls will be going for a piece of history in the 3A classification as they look for 4 straight. Take a look at the final statistics, and really pretty indicative of a 2-point game. Moon had 2 more field goals, making 39% of their shots compared to 41. Holy Ghost, a slight advantage from the free throw line, making 8-3. 3-pointers, not a 1 for the Firebirds, and Moon with 5. A big difference in the outcome of the game, obviously.
Of course, Dom Mano hitting those threes really kind of changed the way Holy Ghost Prep could play defense, and really just got kick-started this Tiger basketball team.
Gordon, I knew it would be fun. That's 4 in the books. We'll do 4 more tomorrow.
Let's get some rest. It's going to be a great day again.
We're going to charge the batteries here tonight. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. 4 more tomorrow. We'll be back here tomorrow afternoon starting at 1 o'clock. For Gordon Blaine, for all of us here at the Pennsylvania Cable Network, I'm Mike Zambelli. Have a great night.
Get your VHS or DVD of this PIAA championship. Visit our website at pcntv.com or call toll-free 1-866-PCN-VIDEO. All championships are $29.95, including shipping and sales tax.
May is a championship month on the Pennsylvania Cable Network, state leader in scholastic sports programming. Don't miss PCN's extensive coverage of the track and field championships as hundreds of Pennsylvania's best high school athletes compete for state gold. Track finals are televised live on PCN along with an array of field events. All sports finals air on the Pennsylvania Cable Network without commercial interruption. When you're looking for high school state champions, turn to PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network.
You're watching PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network. PCN is supported in part by Service Electric Cable TV, serving cable subscribers in Allentown, Bethlehem, and Easton. PCN, only on cable.
In celebration of Pennsylvania culture, PCN devotes overnight hours to Deutsche Welle programming, offering viewers world news and information from Cologne, Germany. International newscasts from Deutsche Welle alternate in German and English every hour. Programs are shown live on PCN from 2 a.m. until 6 o'clock in the morning. Additional Deutsche Welle scheduling information is available through Pennsylvania Cable Network's website at pcntv.com. Tours, books, and profiles every Sunday night on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. At 8, PCN tours museums and manufacturing facilities in the state. At 9, PA Books interviews authors on Pennsylvania topics. And at 10, PCN profiles prominent state residents. Tours, books, and profiles. Sunday evenings in the Commonwealth on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Celebrate the Commonwealth on the Pennsylvania Cable Network, available exclusively on local cable television systems. PCN is funded by cable companies in Pennsylvania, many of whom were responsible for creating this public affairs service. Don't miss out on state legislative coverage and carriage of significant Pennsylvania events. Only on PCN and only on local cable. It's one more great reason to stay connected with the proud cable company in your area. The Pennsylvania Cable Network, your exclusive television home for PIAA state championship sports. Throughout the scholastic season, the Commonwealth's best high school teams and athletes compete for state gold on PCN. For a complete listing of championship dates and times, visit our website at pcntv.com. PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network. Teachers, feel free to record PCN programming for use in the classroom. In addition to live coverage of Pennsylvania Senate and House floor proceedings, PCN offers caucus shows examining legislative issues, a roundtable with Capitol reporters, and video primers on the workings of state government. PCN also distributes free lesson plans for its Battle of Gettysburg programs, George Washington in Pennsylvania series, and select PCN tours. For more information, visit pcntv.com. Homework Help on PCN is a live 2-hour call-in program for students in grades 1 through 12.
This is the show to watch if you want to get the homework done.
State-certified teachers work through math and science questions with students.
The diameter of this sphere is basically going from this end through the center to the other end.
Homework Help on PCN airs throughout the school year on Sundays, live at 5 p.m. College students majoring in communications or political science. The Pennsylvania